What I want to talk about today is how to get momentum through the compounding efforts of others and creating leverage in this business. Okay, I want to say that again. Creating momentum through the compounding efforts of others so that you and I and each and every one of us on this call that desires that can create leverage in our business. And I want to first just begin by sharing a quick story. You know, I was thinking back, I was in my early 30s, I believe. And I've shared this before, you know, very financially not in a great spot. You know, many would call it poor. But I was thinking, what am I going to do, you know, with my life, and that would fit, you know, that would financially be able to provide for our decent sized family and still be able to have a lifestyle that, you know, that I desired and didn't want to just be working all the time. And I haven't shared this part of the story, but I was really considering, I mean, I was very, very close. I went back and I got my bachelor's degree online because all I had was a 2-year degree that I'd gotten a few years into our marriage. Actually, I was a college dropout. But anyway, I went online, I got my 4-year degree. And then I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? So that was the point I was at. And I thought, I almost went to law school. And that was one path I was considering. And I looked at that, and at the time married with 3 or 4 children. I forget how many of the 6 we had then exactly. And I'm like, okay, what is this going to take to go get my JD degree? It's 3 years of full-time school in addition to the bachelor's that I had at that time. It's but I've got a full-time job. I've got to support my family. And I wasn't making much money, but I had a full-time job. And then I would be doing that after hours. So if all I did was consume myself with a 40-hour work week and school to become an attorney, I figured I could get it done in about 4 years. All right. And then I did the math, and I'm like 33 or whatever I was. And then I'd be 37, and my children would be at an age I'd really want to be investing to them. And I would have just not seen them for 4 years of my life. And now I'm going to do what? I'm either going to go work for the DA, start at the bottom, making $35,000 a year, starting pay for an attorney at the time in the state of Georgia where we lived. Or, you know, maybe, just maybe I get good enough grades that I get hired by some silk stocking law firm and start at a 6-figure a year income. And you know what they require? 80-hour work weeks, 90-hour work weeks. I'm like, I don't really like either one of those two options. And I didn't pursue it. The point is this. What we hold in our hands today, you and me and every single one of us, or said another way, the miracle we have in our mouth to offer this opportunity, this business to others. Sometimes I think we just need to be reminded how amazing it is. I think sometimes, like, having an amazing marriage or an amazing wife, we can easily take them for granted, or a husband, or a job that we have, a great job that we have. Just easy to take it for granted. Likewise, it's so easy to take for granted. Living in this country we live in, easy to take for granted. This business is easy to take for granted. That's human nature. And I just want to remind us this morning, and I have more to say about this that I think is very applicable to you, but nothing professionally that I've ever experienced compares to what we have to offer people. It's not perfect. It's not always easy. I'll be the first to admit that. But I will say, beyond a shadow of a doubt, it is so worth it. And as Eric Worre and others say, there is no better way. There is no better way. And think about this for a second. Where else, and I love thinking about this, where else could you invest a couple $100? Where else could anybody invest a couple $100, even if it's $1,000 in a bunch of product, and find a product that's going to improve your life, their life, depends on talking about you or people you share with, right? It's going to improve their life and the lives of everyone that you introduce it to. You've got the best personal growth and development program as a part of this business, where you can earn as you learn and grow. As you learn and grow, you're earning in the process. Free trainings and stuff, right? Every week, free trainings. You get to become a part of retreats that are, you know, we subsidize. They're so inexpensive. to become part of a community that's going to improve your life. And then again, everybody you invite onto your team that joins you, it's a community that they can plug into that can improve and support their lives, where you can build a second income on a part-time basis. And this is a key where I really want to slow down and talk about this for a second, where you can build a second income on a part-time basis, not a sometime basis. And the reason why I'm making that distinction is because one works really, really well part-time, and the other, working it sometimes, works really, really poorly, especially if we want to gain momentum and compounding leverage and build a team, which is done through building a team. With me so far? Why do I say that? Why does it not work to build a business sometime? I'm going to tell you why. It's really simple. Because you have to build enough momentum to get through the inertia. And we can talk about airplanes taking off or whatever analogy works for you. But you have to build enough momentum to get through enough inertia to build a team that's big enough, right? So that you are not the only person in the team, so that it's not all up to you. Because if it's all up to you, guess what? There's no leverage. There's no compounding. You might sell a ton of products. You might sign up a ton of club members. You might create thousands of dollars of income a month, but all you've created is a high paid sales job with products that impact lives. And if that's your goal, that's awesome. I just think that based on statistics, most people that take their time out of the middle of a day like this to be on a call like this have bigger goals than just creating a direct sales to consumer, trading your time for dollars sales job, essentially, even though the products are amazing. I think most of us on this call, if we took a poll, do want to create leaders, do want to impact lives on another level besides just the products, want to create the leverage and the compounding in your business. So I want to talk frank about how do you do that so that you're not on a call like this 3 years from now going, I wonder why it's not happening for me. I want it to happen for you as bad as you want it to happen for you. I think I want it to happen more for you, most of you, than most of you want it for you, because I know what's on the other side and I want it. It drives me. I want it for everybody. Okay. So we've got to take advantage of compounding. You want to get 10 or 20 or 30 other promoters on your team. And listen, although that might sound like, whoa, 10, 20, 30 other promoters like me on my team, that's like such a huge, far out thing. A major milestone in this business is just to get one other person on your team who is as excited about building this business as you are, and they're working alongside you. They're a running buddy. When you have a running buddy in this business, just one, just your first one, everything changes. Everything changes. Am I right about that? Several of you have 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20 running buddies, but all of you that have one have got your first one. Am I right? So I want you to know, all of you that don't have that first running buddy yet, or maybe you got one for a little while and lost them. That happens. Okay. Everything becomes fun and exciting and an adventure when you get one. And I hope that this brief talk just not only paints a vision for what you can and will have if you follow through on what I'm going to close out by sharing here in a second, but that also, it gives you hope and a vision and just a renewed focus of something really exciting to work towards. And so, again, just one other running buddy, but it can't be done on a sometime basis. I guess that's what I want to keep coming back to. It will not happen. I mean, the odds of it happening are slim to none if you are going to work this business sometime. On again, off again, on again. You know what? It's going to affect the customers you could have gotten. It's going to affect people that are, so many people are watching. If you put it out there to anybody, now they're watching you. If anybody knows that you started this business, now they're watching you. and they're watching a lot of things. Same thing you'd be watching in them. Same thing I'd be watching in them. I've got someone who just started another cryptocurrency network marketing business. Well, he started a health business a year and a half ago and lasted 2 weeks. I'm just like, I'm watching, I'm just watching. And I think I prejudged what's going to happen with him based on the past and based on what I've seen in other people, but I don't know that. He could prove me wrong. People are watching you too, and they're having the same thoughts, similar thoughts, right? Similar thoughts. So consistency is what I'm saying is everything in this business. It's everything. So how do you do that? How do you work this business part-time, which is 99.9% of everybody that starts in this business, but not sometime? I think if people would work this business 15 to 30 minutes every day, every day, 6 days a week, as an example, okay? Nothing has to be in a box, but 15 to 30 minutes a day, every day, 6 days a week. I think it would blow their minds what they could accomplish if they did that, if you did that every single day. It's been said that we as humans overestimate what we can do in 1 year in our health, in our fitness, in our weight loss, in this business, and underestimate what could be done in 10 years or 5 years or 20 years with consistency working this part-time. But here's the deal. It's about consistent daily action. If you can't have your success tracker or your calendar, Susan talked about her team members now, having Zooms on the calendar and doing the business. You can't have your success tracker and your calendar looking like the toothless fairy, right? You can't have all these gaps in it where it's like, worked it a little here, didn't work it for this period of time, did a little something here. Doesn't work, okay? Does not work. It doesn't create compounding. It doesn't create leverage. Where else? Think about this. Where else can you work on a very part-time basis? Back to where I've started, this is the best opportunity I know of. Where else can you, and you can offer this to everyone you meet, whether they're open or not, right? Where else can you work on a very part-time basis? Keep your full-time job if you have one. And here's another thing. Listen to this one. Be mentored by millionaires. Each and every one of you on this call right now, if you're in the Wisdom Builders organization, which you all should be, each and every one of you have millionaires in your upline, multi-millionaires in your upline. And guess what they get paid to do? Teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, being a role model for you, helping you win, helping you succeed. That's why I love this industry. We only win if we help people win. We only win on a big scale if we help people win. We only win on a small scale if we help people win. If we have 5 customers, 3 customers, and we're helping them use the products, they're winning and we win a little bit, right? Financially, a little bit, and more so emotionally and every other way by helping people. But anyway, you all have millionaires in your upline. You all have success in your upline. They didn't do it by accident. They had some kind of system. They had some kind of patterns that they followed that you can simply follow. I mean, where else? Think about this. When I say it is the best, there's many reasons I say that, but where else can you get that kind of mentoring for the cost of free? Where else? Where else do they host retreats and say, guess what? Yeah, you have to pay something to get there, but not only do you not pay us anything, we'll pay you. We'll subsidize the cost of the retreat to make it more affordable so you can get there. By the way, retreat has been moved from Bend, Oregon to Talladega, Alabama, where we were last fall. It was an incredible place. It drops the cost substantially. For some, it may even cover the cost of a flight, the savings and difference in price. And more information is coming out on that any day. We just got that firmed up yesterday. So we'll come back, circle back around on that. But what other industry gives you that kind of mentoring for free? None. Noah, does anybody know of one? I don't know of one. And then from right here, and those that are driving and listening and can't see me, I'm holding up my cell phone. My work from phone business, this thing goes to 7.5. I think it's close to 8 billion people now in 192 countries, 51 of which we are in as a company. in 38 different time zones. All we need is a Wi-Fi connection. All we need is a cell phone or internet or whatever, cell phone service, right? We can market our business all over North America and beyond, and the power of compounding and the power of leverage. 3, who get 3 is 9, who get 3 is 27, who get 3 is 81, who get 3 is 243, who get 3 is 729, who get 3 is over 2,000, who get 3 is over 6,000, who get 3 is over 19,000 people. That's leverage. That's compounding. That happens part-time all the time, but it happens sometime, never, ever. And all those people working for you, with you, alongside you, and you didn't have to hire them. You didn't have to pay them. You don't ever have to fire them. Believe me, that's huge. Super nice. And I know as I wrap this up, some people must be going, 15 to 30 minutes a day. Give me a break, Allan. Like, you could really build that kind of business. I'm on social media 4 hours a day and I'm not having that kind of result. Or I'm working my business 2 hours a day and I'm not having that kind of results. How can you do it in 15 to 30 minutes a day? I want to close by saying this. Today's environment, I think, is a lot like as I heard someone else say recently, Ray Higdon actually said it, like a learner's opium den, right? There's so much content out there today. It's so easy to be forever learning and never doing. And I'm not bashing learning. We need to learn. It is so critically important. I'm glad everyone's on this call. But there's some that are forever learning and never doing. There's others that may think you're working your business, but you're not talking to anybody. Not on a kind of scale anyway that would produce the results that maybe you desire. In fact, a very fundamental thing in our business, and hopefully most of you know this, is, this business is no different than any other business, is to have actual goals for the business and an actual plan. How many people, this is the most foundational goal and plan of this business, of our business, is how many people did you ask, were they open to your products or your opportunity or both today or this past week or this past month? People will say all the time that they're hungry. I hear this a lot. I'm hungry. I'm ready. I have goals. I have dreams for a better way of life. They want to be on stage at convention. They maybe have the goal to win earn the trip to Grand Cayman this October. And I hope every one of you are there. It's going to be incredible. But we can know with one simple question, are they really ready and willing and on track to hit their goals, their dreams, their ambitions, by saying, how many people did you prospect last week? And when I say prospect, I simply mean, how many people did you give an opportunity to last week to say yes or no to our products or our opportunity or both? How many people did you ask, are you open to taking a look at what I have? Yes or no? And if the answer is a minuscule number, but we have big dreams, then one of two things must happen. We need to adjust our goals down. And I hope that's not what you choose, but maybe that's what you need to choose. Or we need to adjust our hustle up. I hope this was encouraging. I hope it was inspiring. I hope it was what at least one or maybe more needed to hear this morning. I know it's a message I need to hear on a regular basis, because the reality is I have 6 children. I have a wife. I have other investments. I have a house that needs repairing and a garage that needs organizing and an inbox I can't even keep up with an email and messages all over the place. And there's just 101 things pulling at my attention. And what I don't want to happen is for the most important things, and I've just mentioned some of the most important things like my family and my relationships, not my garage being organized, although I'd wish it was, that the important things stay the important things and the priorities stay the priorities. And in the context of this business, I'm only speaking in the context of this business, the priority is consistency and asking people, if giving them the opportunity to see if they're open to our products or service. Anything other than that kind of work, quote unquote, will not build a business. It will not. It will not. And I want everyone to crush their business, and I want everyone to hit their goals. And I want to see everyone on stage at July and at convention, and everyone of you. And there's no reason why you can't. Every one of you be in Grand Cayman with us. It's not near as fun when we're there thinking about so many of you that we want there with us next year. Well, it's next year already. Let's do this. Any questions or comments before we close it up? Told you we'd get done early. We've got time.